Hello. Hi. Welcome. Today we're doing more MSQ for Shadowbringers. You might be wondering, I thought you beat Shadowbringers. Well, it's an MMO, so there are patches for the story until the next expansion, including raids and such, but today I'm just gonna focus on the MSQ. So yeah, let's get into it. Yo, gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. You're too selfless. That's your problem, but you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gemilt Dark, and that the Empire has shown no signs of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First. Great. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flamen to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. We'll be waiting for you at the House of Splendors, and I expect you to tell us absolutely everything about your time in the First. Okay. Just because his name was homie. Alright. Alrighty. Where are you? Where are you? Are you upstairs? Ah, there you are. Minfilia's mom. Yo, it has been too long. Tatur did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot well express how I have longed to know more of the First. This world, Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tatsu should be arriving shortly. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle, this girl who think her name Reen. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Yo, might I ask a favor of you? When next you return to the first, tell Reen what I cannot. Tell her thank you. And I would offer thanks to you as well for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Rio, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper. I wish, nay, I've not had a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while now, too bloody long. On account of which I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through grim moats, now that fighting's died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting round here twiddling me thumbs any road. I just thought I'd let you know. Now I'd best be. I nearly forgot. Kryle's at the stones and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine him again when I left. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. You needn't worry about me. Go on and see what Kryle has to say. It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examinations suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Based on the time they left.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies. Thank you.
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Take care over in the First, Yo. We're counting on you and the Crystal Exarch to bring our friends home. Don't worry, Yo. Don't you worry. Master Matoya and I will think of something. Back to the First. Ah, yo, you're returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. Their corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Bryle and Master Matoria to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed.
Okay, so that's a raid I need to do.
I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the First. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
What was that for?
can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul, but her personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae Folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Nice. I'm sick and tired of the Exarch's attempts at selfless sacrifice. If he suggests dying one more time, I swear I'm going to grant him his wish. The new Mo seems such a welcoming folk in Ilmeg. What do you suppose could have driven this one to a life of seclusion? 'Tis said the kingdom of Vogr was once home to the realm's greatest knights and magics both. To command a place at the royal court, the new Mo whom we seek must needs have been a mage amongst mages. A mage of surpassing skill living a life of seclusion? Now where have I heard that before? One can only hope they are more receptive to unsolicited visitations. The Grand Cosmos, that is the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeys thither, I think it's best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white orosite. By thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time. And should the new Mo consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Solon, and do be prepared for a warm reception. Rejoin the others in Solon. I shall turn my thoughts to the Orosite and apprise Thancred and Reen of our progress. He said the place is on the opposite shore, but I see nothing on the horizon save empty sky. Curious. The Exarch said to prepare for a warm reception at the palace. Let's hope it's more cordial than his last visit. I was relieved to hear the Exarch intended to to arrange for a boat to carry us across the lake. Not that I would be opposed to swimming, mind you. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here to petition for assistance? You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As would any true seeker of knowledge, and there is a little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Weapons drawn it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when Yo's around. What exactly are you implying? She averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume her has been extinguished. 'Tis only natural that we be pleased to see her. Yes, well, you will have plenty of time to celebrate her good health after we finish here. Of course, then let us proceed into the palace. Time is even a half hour. Okay. "'Tis good to be here with you for a change. Whatever you would have me do, you need but say the word." How long has it been since we last went on such an expedition? I cannot help but be reminded of the ruins of Scala. I think we've done enough talking, don't you? We have a new mood to impress. I can but imagine what manner of beasts keep guard here. No doubt they will afford us scant opportunity to explore the palace. A pity. I'll pick up a quest I need to do to unlock flying while I'm waiting. Hi, finless one, and welcome to the Cups. Long have I wanted to converse with one of your kind. I am called Norris Cole. How may I address you? Yo, son, curious. Before we speak at length, there is something I would show to you. Let us leave behind the Cuppas and head due west. Come. These are relics of your kind, yes, the leavings of a ship that sailed the seas above long, long ago. They lay as they fell, untouched by any Ondo, for most have little interest in the affairs of the finless. I, however, do, ever since I was saved by one of yours after being washed ashore. Weary and near death, such kindness is rare and wonderful thing, and I would know more of people who showed it to me. And so I ask you, Yosun, to teach me your ways. These objects, for example, what purpose do they serve? How are they to be used? Noskal gestures to the nearby debris, entreating you to inspect them closely and offer a detailed explanation. Among the debris you spy what appears to be the remnants of several shattered bottles of wine. Such fragile containers they were. I suspect they once contained something of great value. What can you tell me of their purpose? Fragrant liquors which cloud the mind? I have heard of these before. Do you finless ones so delight in dulling their wits? Among the debris you spy what appears to be a rotting ship's wheel. That was carved from the wood from one of your many trees, yes? What purpose does this particular contraption serve? I see, that possibility I had not considered. A pity that this material so quickly degrades when immersed in water. I should have liked to wear one myself. Thank you, Yosun. In short, our time together, you have already taught me so much. A pity that none of these pearls of wisdom will serve my needs. Naroshi, what are you thinking wandering off on your own with this finless one? This is no time for you to fiddle with their leavings. The clutch mother is in terrible distress. No, you do not understand. I brought her here too. Pray forgive this child his impudence. I am Zeros Owen, and on behalf of the Clutch Mother, I come to entreat your assistance. It seems you do not realize that in driving back the waters of the Tempest, you have placed our beloved Clutch Mother, leader of the Ondo, in mortal peril. She is pregnant here in the depths. She will give birth to many, many eggs. We male Ondo will then take them into our care and raise them as our own. But absent the flowing waters, we know not if she will be able to deliver them safely. If not, the future of our people will be in jeopardy. The flood of light claimed many Ondo lives, though we have rebuilt our numbers somewhat in the decades since. It would be devastating to lose an entire generation, or worse, the Clutch Mother herself. She wishes to speak with you directly, that we might together find a solution to this dilemma. We'll return to the cups. Narash, come. I will not let you trouble our guests or the Clutch Mother further. Everything I have done for her. Oh, here we go. Huh. You have studied these souls long enough. Come, Logus, and guess yet want for company. I think the healer re-queued over there. That's a shame. Because they're actually handling it without. DPS is taking damage though. He gave it the best shot he could. Got so lucky. Okay. I died a lot there. I can't believe I received a player accommodation. Oh. Some days it just be like that.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Beckloak, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men.
Oh, that voice.
You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. The damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety. Oh, you know not what you ask of me, what horrors my knowledge has wrought. You wish only to save your friends? Nothing more? Do you swear it?
No. No.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Beck. Look, for the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with them. I have never sought to convince, not compel. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the new Muro with us. Had he not, Beck wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guests waiting would only add insult to injury. You must definitely dally here. We mustn't dally here any longer, yo. If Fake Lug is here, the truth of our travels in the first you of all our people should be present.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was, As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Do you happen to notice the magic brooms strewn about the grand cosmos? Uncanny. Well, what if Backlog is a shard of Matoya? Kind of like Ardbert. Whatever it is. An Ardbert situation. A split soul. Who knows? Backlug has a fine eye, though we have yet to begin. I rather think the Exarch was right to call on them. I sometimes forget we're not truly here in the first. It would be good to be whole again. Fortunately for us, Beckluck is not of a mind to see you and your fellow Scions justly compensated for your efforts. Is of a mind. You have spun quite the tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? White Orisite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the Orisite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these fox bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will respite upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the end in Journey's Head, corrupted by sin eaters, the ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted, stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why do you think they might be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite Orisite. I believe my talents would be better applied to the endeavor to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beck Lugs as necessary? Let us make for Orang then. J is more than capable of creating the Urusite on his own, but if aught should go awry, I would be on hand to assist him. It pains me that there are those who yet suffer despite our victory over the light. We must hope a way can be found to help both them and our friends. Oh, he's mumbling now. That's good. Having broken Light's stranglehold on the first, I would like to believe they will one day recover, yet I fear that day may not come soon. Beck Lug told me they wish to meet the worst afflicted, Harlick. There are times when I swear there is something he wants to tell me, if only he could form the words. So this is Harlick, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans precariously towards the light, towards stasis. What do you propose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light, he will become a sin-eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Harlick was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobart, then for far darker purposes. Let it fall into the wrong hands. I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse their stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Come, let us see what effect my tonic will have on the ether, if any. Totten stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Okay. Hey. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? Strange. Is it me or is it suddenly warmer? It feels rather nice. Okay, so the effects don't work on everybody, but... Talk to Alpha. Leave this one to me, yo. Please let this work. I feel warm, and my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Well, fancy that. My hands don't feel quite so stiff. Thank you, miss. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption like Harlech appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petition your aid, but do you think it would be possible if we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible. That in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Corporeal and incorporeal ether. I confess, I have never had cause to make the distinction. Me neither. Did they just say what I think they said? Might there really be a way to help Harlech and the others, and help ourselves in the process? I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Robert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labor. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. I know that only too well. Alas, the knowledge we require is steeped in such bitter memories. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these peoples in corporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the aether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if that's all the same to you. Whatever regents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well, your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphinaud, the waters and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been here at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the new Moi of Pla Annie. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Clay from Armoreg would likely be best. Know of anyone who might be able to assist us? Ah yes, they will be able to point you in the right direction, I am sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. I have no doubt that the miners of Twine can help you find what you need. While you are away, I will do what I can to learn more about the nature of the patient's affliction. Sometimes I wish we'd never got that trolley running again. Now Jerk wants more of the bloody things and refuses to shut up about it. I can't stop thinking about that giant Talos we built. Can you imagine what it could do with a matching trolley? It feels like a waste not to build one. Still on about that. Yo, well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you took to Nabath Arang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter, had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man that Chai knows. He seems pretty keen on the idea I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jerk, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Yo here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? I see, and this familiar requires clay from Armorang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that is not exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Bryan mines to make adobe bricks. The place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than look there. You want to be on your guard at the mines. Spend too long peering at the ground and a coyote is sure to come and bite you on the ass. I still say a trolley for that Talos is a good idea. You agree, don't you? Stay safe out there, and remember, you don't need an excuse to come and visit us. I can fly. Was it a sandstorm? The pixies were constantly confusing me with Alisaie. In jest, I assume. I mean, it's not as if we look that much alike. We, don't look that much alike, do we? I mean... yeah. Kinda. That had better be the only thing we need from the pixies. If I had to endure one more prank, so help me gods. The twins have returned and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water. Then heat the mixture with the Fey lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Backlug, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Arlick and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Norvent more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Yo? I'll give it my all, for Harlick, for Tesleen. Then we are all of mine on the matter. Alisaie shall be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Okay.
Not bad for a first attempt.
Did she just create life?
Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Mother, I...
Oh. The girl's resolve is quite impressive. One might almost think she drew strength from another. By the 12th, though it was only for a moment he spoke, there may yet be hope for these people. Mother, I... How is the Beckluck? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beck-Lug said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Harlick's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with Earth's aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown, even to me. I say this is not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness if it's all the same to you. I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beck-Lug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly hoisted theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. The fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you. This guy. Kai, Cherie, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yomor. Lady Chai is beside herself, sighing, pacing the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go out and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say. It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on, then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beck-Lug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the further future of Yomor is at stake. The future of Yomor is at stake, is it? Well, do for them what you can, but keep an eye on Alphinaud, would you? See to it he doesn't involve himself more than is necessary. Whatever could be so urgent for Lady Chai to summon us thus. Alright. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. Like 15 minutes. Alright, I'm back. That seemed like a good point to stop the main story, so I'm gonna finish this quest I started in the middle of the queue. Real quick. Beyond this gate lies the Clutch Mother. Approach and hearken to her words. Honored guests, I, Clutch Mother of Ondo, do bid you welcome to our realm. You will forgive me for receiving you in this fashion. For the safety and well-being of my children unborn, I must remain within, away from the dangers without. As you know, under normal circumstances, this place would be filled with blessed water, from which I would draw strength and support to bring these eggs into this world. Alas, I am but half submerged now, and I fear for my ability to fulfill my sacred duty. I am given to understand you and yours are the ones responsible for drawing back the waters of our realm, with good reason, I am sure. However, it is my sincerest hope that you will agree to aid us, given that you are responsible for the state of affairs. Fear not, I desire no direct assistance, rather I would beg a boon of your people's knowledge of childbirth, and how the finesse of ones ease the burdens of their struggling mothers. Zeros alone will be my agent in this matter. Heed his words and answer his questions. This is all I ask. Do you consent? I thank you, honored guests. Go well. Then it is agreed. However, I must consult with their attendants before we speak further. For now, I bid you, Narker Skull, go about your business, but be ready if called upon. Wait, yo son. Have you a moment to converse in private outside the cups, please? I will seek you and Nora shout if you are needed. For now I bid you go about your business, honored guest. Or do you wish to speak with the Clutch Mother herself? Is that why you're come? If so, I shall inform her at once. Not really. Are you worried for my well-being? Worry not, I am well and in good health. Should that change, I will send for you. Okay. "'Tis a rare thing indeed to be granted an audience with the Clutch Mother. I hope this serves to help you understand how important these eggs are to us. Before you came to the cups, I had been searching for a means to assist her in giving birth. That is why I have been studying the relics of your people. Unfortunately, I found nothing that seems suitable for this purpose. I cannot stress to you enough how important she is to us. She is mother to all Ondo. Her every egg, brother and sister. We should do anything and everything to welcome them into this world. and see them grow into healthy, happy Ando. There must be some way in which he can help us to achieve this end. Okay, and maybe one day I'll come back to this, but for now, I'm just unlocking the Aetheryte quests. I was told that these Aetheryte quests in Amarat are actually interesting, so I'm gonna do these. Oh, I hope someone else hasn't registered already. Why, hello there, little one. Are you looking for your mommy and daddy? This is your first time here. Taking them if you haven't already, then settle in for a good long wait. Okay, I've been here before. But there's more... whatever these guys are to talk to. That's cool. Greetings and welcome to the Bureau of the Architect. Are you in need of assistance? It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you might have. To your left is the counter where you may submit registrations for new creations. To your right you will find the counter where you may question concepts on file. Am I correct in assuming you are not familiar with the services we provide? I see. A more detailed explanation is in order then. You understand that by harnessing the powers of creation we can give physical form to all manner of concepts, yes? Picture a bouquet of flesh, fragrant flowers of all the colors of the rainbow. Now picture those self-same flowers formed of delicate crystal, impossibly fragile and radiating hues beyond the visual spectrum. Every day our people push the boundaries of imagination to conceive new and striking designs like these. But there are limits to what a single individual can shape with their abilities alone. Those who harbor greater ambitions may offer their concepts to others here, that they might, with the strength of many, accomplish what one cannot. concepts are approved for wider distribution, of course. Dangerous subversion creations pose a risk to everyone, and so it's only after a comprehensive evaluation, after a concept is judged to further the greater good, that we permit it to be shared with the community. Do you understand, little one? Since you are here, I think you might benefit from conversing with some of the others currently availing themselves of our services. Why don't you go and speak with some of the citizens waiting for their registrations to be processed? Much as I would like to believe my explanation was more than sufficient, I expect that you may gain greater insight in this way. Hello, little one. So rare it is to see one of your size roaming about here. Come to learn about the Bureau, are we? I'm here today to register a new creature, boneless and with semi-translucent skin. It drifts through the air like a dancer on a summer breeze, its tentacles trailing behind. It utilizes gas splatters to propel itself from place to place, you see. Octopus. What's the name of that octopus from Final Fantasy VI? Ultros? No. You know who I'm talking about. Did he make him? I'll admit it's not the most elegant of designs. I'd not shed a tear if it were rejected, quite frankly. But what can I say? I take pleasure in conceiving unorthodox designs. A beginner like you shouldn't take after me, though. If you're looking to pick up a few tips, you should probably ask someone else. Is that my number they just called? If you'll excuse me. Well, I'm glad I talked to him. Okay, so they don't see themselves as gods, just creators. Okay. Are you the child I saw speaking with the attendant earlier? I thought so. Young and already so eager to learn about concepts and creations. That curiosity will serve you well, little one. I've been credited with a few popular concepts, I'm proud to say. I'm hoping that my latest will be equally well received. Autonomousness figures. The student made minions. I say my latest, but really it's the product of many others' efforts and individuals' insights. That makes sense. But such is the case of every masterwork, I reckon. Autonomy notwithstanding, these creations know no fear. They are wholly devoid of emotion, and will without hesitation or resistance engage in any dangerous activity, even if death is assured. There is a beauty in that, I think, and I hope that the officials do so as well. I tell you, there is something more nerve-wracking and thrilling than the waiting period before you receive the result. I love it and I hate it in equal measure. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about it. If you're still keen to learn more, why not pester that warrior art over yonder? Come to think of it, I think their particular creation was designed to appeal to children. Like I said, if you're interested in learning more about the registration system, why not chat up that worried-looking fellow? I recall them muttering about how their design ought to appeal to little ones like yourself. You there, an inspiring creator come to learn about the Bureau and its inner workings, I trust. That's all well and good, but since you're here, perhaps you can help me with a little something. I've been refining a concept of mine for some time now. Adorable little creatures designed to be perfect playthings for any young citizen. But I'm still terribly unsure if it's ready to be submitted for approval. Which is why I was hoping you might first put it through the paces and tell me what you think. Your honest opinion. I'll have no flattery from you, young lady. This matrix will allow you to summon my creations, but don't use it here. Take it outside first, and don't be afraid to play rough. It's all part of the fun. You can use that matrix I gave you to summon my creations. Bear in mind they're a work in progress, so they may not behave exactly as designed, but I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time regardless. This stuff's interesting. Like, getting to know how things started. Ah. So we created slime? I didn't catch the name of the enemies. I'll have to look back. How did you find my lovelies? Were they as delightful and engaging as I hoped? Tell me everything, spare no details. I say, they sprouted nonsensical phrases and attacked you like mad beasts. How distressing and not at all what I intended. My sincerest apologies to you, little one, for the unpleasant experience. Okay, so that one probably didn't make it through to current timeline. Still, from these experiences do we grow stronger and wiser. I look forward to the day when you will try your hand at creation too. And he's gone. Oh, did you want to ask me about my latest concepts again? The autonomous figures I told you about before. They are utterly without feeling fear, and without hesitation or objection carry out the Master's orders regardless of any injury or death they may suffer as a result. Truly magnificent, wouldn't you agree? Talking. Words. Please let me know if you have other questions about the Bureau of the Architect and what we do here, little one. I am here to help. I have so many questions, but the game won't let me, so on to the next. Ooh. I must say, little one, those garments you're wearing, they are your own original concepts, I take it. Clearly they must be, given their rather singular flamboyance. I would never dream of stifling a fledgling's creator's creativity, but to parade about in your cultivated individuality is hardly praiseworthy. It's kind of a contradiction. An Amoritan of character shares their creations with the community. They do not hoard them for their use alone. To delight in disparity is a mark of the morally deficient. Disparity engenders feelings of want and resentment, which degrade the bonds of fellowships. Thus do we encourage creators to share and share alike, else we risk kindling the embers of covetous and violence that ever smolder in the hearts of all. Therefore, I must implore you, little one, to cast aside your original trappings and don the communal robes, that you might acquaint yourself as an equal among many. In so doing, you will be afforded greater respect, autonomy. Worry not, for this will be a simple affair. I recall seeing a gentle soul outside the hall of rhetoric, carrying robes perfectly suited for one of your diminutive stature. I am sure they will be glad to share their wealth with you. But do hurry, little one. The eyes of the collective are ever watching and weighing your worth. You mustn't carry on in those garments a moment longer, little one. Seek out the gentle soul I spoke of and the one I saw outside the hall of rhetoric, and pray that they still have those robes that should fit your tiny form. Nice, it was along the way anyway. Oh, aren't we looking rather smart this evening? What can I do for you, little one? Robes. Robes to serve in lieu of your ensemble? Oh, how prudent. Alas, I have nothing I can offer you at this present time. The ones your associates saw me carrying earlier were a failed experiment. I never intended to make them so small, so I disposed of them shortly thereafter. By your bemused expression, I gather you find it rather odd that your elders can fail in so simple an application of creation magics. It is more common than you may realize, little one. In this instance, a gaggle of children was passing by as I held the image of ropes in my mind's eye. Simply by becoming aware of their presence was the form influenced and their final products changed. All things considered, it could have been worse. Just the other day I was attempting to conceive a white-haired lion when all of a sudden this exquisite eagle alighted on the nearby railing, giving me quite the shock and dramatically altering my initial concept. Yes, indeed, it was the most unexpected development, but not an altogether unwelcome one. Great strides are often born from unexpected impetuses. But even inspiration has its limits. For all the wonders we have wrought, I do wonder if there will come a time when we have fully explored the potential of our powers, when there is truly nothing left unmade, and only iteration and imitation and stagnation remain. But such historic matters need not concern you, little one. For now, I would encourage you to embrace your creativity and work your magics without fear of failure. Nevertheless, it would still be in your best interest to don the appropriate robes to avoid excess scrutiny. Why don't you go to the bureau of their architect and request the appropriate concept so you can fashion one yourself? Okay. You may as well fashion the robes you seek yourself. Head to the Bureau of Architect and speak with one of the clerks to request the concept. Back here again. Welcome to the Bureau of Architect, little one. Are you here to request a concept for personal use? If so, what sort of concept did you have in mind? Ah, communal robes. That will take but a moment to prepare, but before I fill your request, I should caution you. Pardon me for asking, but your creative potential is, relatively low, is it not? We are trained to assess these things, and I fear that you do not possess the ability to express this concept in physical form. It's almost as though you completely lack it, though that can't possibly be. But regardless of the reason, you needn't worry. We have special tools that may be used to address this very eventuality. I will furnish you with an etheric rope you can use to restrain one of the misbegotten cubuses that congregate in the plaza north of the Academia Anir. You will need to weaken your quarry before you can reliably bind them, but once you have, you can repurpose their energies to create your own robes. Remember to weaken your quarry before you attempt to restrain them with the rope, else you will likely fail. Return here when you have finished. Okay. It's like Pokemon. Welcome back, little one. Did you succeed in binding a cubus? You have done well, little one. Allow me to siphon its energies and prepare the matrix for you. It should only take a moment. Here you are, a creation matrix that you may use to generate your own robes. The concept is inscribed upon the crystal, which has been infused with the ether of the beast you brought me. What? Why are you looking at me as though you do not know how to channel the powers of creation? It is as natural as breathing. Even a newborn babe has the instinct. Even if your potential is lacking, as one of our people, you must surely know what to do. Oh, it's you, little one. Come to the Bureau of Architect to track down yet another concept, have we? As you like, but I do worry that you will struggle to utilize even the simplest of your concepts, considering your rather limited creative potential. Doesn't see you as food yet. So, can I actually... Like, how would I? I honestly want the ropes. Let me see. I guess I just don't get the cloak. Oh well. That's right, I've been here before. Greetings, little one. Come to debate, and so young an age. How wonderful. Shall we retire to the benches and settle on a topic? Oh, my apologies for jumping to conclusions. My friends are not quite as fond of the Hall of Rhetoric as I am, so I have a habit of chatting up any potential conversation partners. So if you are not here to debate, I presume you are here to learn about the mysterious and historic goings-on here. 'Twould be my pleasure to act as your tutor in these matters, if you will indulge me. The Hall of Rhetoric is, as its name indicates, a place where citizens may freely gather to discuss and debate all manner of topics. This central forum is ideal for open discourse, but smaller rooms are available for those desiring more intimate conversation. Oh, and there is a wealth of reading material concerning rhetorical techniques and history penned by the greatest minds on offer as well. Considering like rhetorical history as well, or just techniques? Huh. Should you wish to refine your techniques through self-study? To my mind, however, rhetoric is a living, breathing thing that is best experienced in the moment of conception and execution. Perhaps a demonstration would best serve to further your education. I saw a contemporary of mine engaged in a lively debate earlier, just outside the hall. Go and see if you are still there, and if they are still there, and issued to them my personal invitation to a friendly battle of wits. As our verbal fisticuffs proceed, perhaps there will be an opportunity for you to join the discourse as well. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Honestly, I didn't think I could get up there. Not the best angle, but this is precisely my point, that their obsession with this so-called mandate to approve only the most beneficial concepts for wider distribution, never mind the ridiculous subjectivity of this criteria, has led the Bureau of the Architect astray from its original purpose. Have you business with me, child? Regardless, I'm in the middle of a heated discussion with my partner. Come back later. No. My position has nothing to do with the intrinsic value of unique identity and whether or not it is retained. Rather, I posit that the repercussions of a given concept are inherently imperfect, and thus they are themselves unique, albeit in minor but significant degrees, and most importantly, the variance is not to be condemned, but celebrated. Better than to strive in vain for an impossible standard that, even if met, would leave us lesser for the lack of diversity. It's got a point. The Amorites appear to be engrossed in their debate, utterly deaf to you and your pleas for attention. My, aren't you a stubborn little bugger? It's strangely endearing, I must admit, but we have all the time in the world. Why are you so insistent that I speak with you this very instant? You are acquainted with that chatterbox? I suppose I do owe them a debate or two, and now is as good an occasion as any to, so be it. And now is as good an occasion as any, so be it. Yeah, target. He just disappears. So you're to be an observer. No, that will not do. You must be an active participant. You must engage in the discourse. Only by doing will you learn and grow, little one. I see you found my friend. Thank you, little one. Then without further ado, let us commence the promised debate. As to the matter of what subject we shall debate today, I propose the recent calamity which has befallen our friends across the pond. What say you? Oh, they're talking about the cups, whatever that race is, that reside in the cups. The singular point of contention is, of course, whether or not Amaranth should intervene on their behalf. I believe we should. The scale of the disaster which threatens that distant metropolis is of a scale heretofore unseen, and so equally... No! Well, it's not my internet. That's good. That means I'm still streaming. Just gotta log back in. No! Okay, hold up. I'm gonna see if I can fix this. Just have to relaunch the whole thing. Maybe that'll work. Maybe I can let my cat in who's crying at the door. I don't know. Okay. It's working, but I'll be right back while it's queuing up for me to enter. Gonna have a little break. Let the cat out at least. Okay, cat. Okay, I'm back. This is all the stuff that pops up when you log in. I disagree. The scale concerns me less than the nature of the proposition itself. Who are we to unilaterally intervene in the affairs of those half a world away? Are we to be the saviors of one and all? Such arrogance may well lead to our own downfall. While I understand your concerns from a philosophical standpoint, I fear you are too quick to dismiss practical considerations out of desire to maintain an unsatiable moral authority. But let us, you and I, hold here for the present and offer the floor to our young student. You have heard our opening salvos in the debate concerning the fate of our neighbors across the sea. What is your opinion on the matter? I mean, both are true, but if I could save him, I would, yeah. Indeed, the same can be said regardless of one's opinion on the morality of intervention. There is a clear and undeniable benefit to Amarat in using the situation as a testbed for our newest creations, that we might develop and refine our defenses against a potential threat to our own fair city. How readily you cede the moral high ground. Was not our young friend's point that we have an ethical obligation to aid those in need? Yet not only do you instead elect to focus on the benefit to Amarat alone, but you also deprive our distant neighbors of the agency to determine their own fate. You misunderstand me. What benefits Amarat benefits all creation. I firmly believe for the knowledge and wisdom we stand to gain from intervention can be shared with others. Empowering everyone is more effectively surmount similar trials in the future. Empowering everyone to more effectively surmount similar trials in the future. Yeah. Okay. They both have good points, but I'm of the idea of knowledge is freedom, so knowledge should be free. That was cool. I must say, it has been far too long since I engaged in such a refreshing exchange of ideas. My colleague was equally delighted by the opportunity, you may be assured. Some degree it has little more than an academic exercise after all. We failed to reach a meaningful consensus, but I dare say they missed the forest for the trees. Are we not more enlightened by the experience? Have we not been exposed to a greater variety of viewpoints? Is there not value in this alone? I truly believe we are blessed to be part of a society that exalts the free exchange of ideas, and that encourages active participation in the public discourse. This may have been no more than your first foray into the exciting world of rhetoric, but I sense you have the soul of a debater in you. You may well have the potential to change Amra in ways no one ever thought possible. I shall be watching your trajectory with great interest, my young friend. I have high expectations for you, my little debater. If you ever wish to hone your skills with a spirited conversation or two, I would be overjoyed to engage you. Can fly. Finally. Wanted to fly here for so long. Okay. So this is the last map I have to fill. What is up here? Oh, this stuff. Okay. Okay, so there's something. Whoa. Yeah, I definitely need to do that sometime. Oh. Could always go this way. Hey! Perfect. Alright. And on that note, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. I know I sort of went off the main story there, but I really wanted to unlock flying. Now, if I have a quest that comes back here, I can just fly to the place, you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.